couple of pieces of content here that I seen here with Mouse Jones.
Godfather, the godfather of all podcasting, the father of this shit. I don't care what nobody say, them niggas is lying to you. Niggas with bad teeth and fake hairlines, they are lying to you. They are.
You have the new interview with Mouse Jones on his own.
Yep.
And then there's the Dr. Umar interview.
Yep.
So I'm starting to see a trend here. How did the relationship start with Mouse Jones first?
Man, that was super organic. Super organic. All right, so this was like a little strategy. I think this is a content creator strategy that I should definitely leverage, bro. So when I was I made a story on this guy named Charles Kirkendall.
Okay.
From Blavy. So Blavy acquired his business, right? And he was on Black Love, talking about how he was broke and he was on a double date and
Black Love is podcast.
Black Love does have a podcast, but they're a Black Love media company.
Okay.
Literally a media company based on Black Love. Damn, I do a lot of black shit like that. But shout out to me. Man. And he was telling the story on it, and I just was telling like the boys about that like organically, and I had my editor put a clip on that, and he rocked with it. And we posted on his platform. And I was like, oh shit, that's dope. And he has a bigger platform than I do, by far.
Yeah.
And he saw it and a whole bunch of other people saw it. So I'm like, all right, we need to use this time to network. And Mouse commented on that post. So I'm like, boom, I have in with Mouse. He saw that post. So from that, I pitched Mouse and I knew that he would be familiar with me.
Right.
So that's what organically did it. So when I went to New York, I was like, all right, yo, Mouse, let's do an interview together. And he was like, down on bet. I bet him down. And you know when somebody gives you like a shaky answer for an interview, like they say yes, but you know it's not like yes.
Yeah,
you know? I wanna yes, you know?
Not what time, when, where do you want me?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I'm down, you know, but it's like a casual. I'm like, how can I make this a yes for sure? And I already had Dr. Umar lined up. So I'm like, all right, boom, let's get Mouse and Dr. Umar together already. And that would be like a sick interview. Plus, that would make sure that locks him in.
Yeah.
You know? So that's how that happened. And Mouse was like, what? Like, you got, boom, perfect. And so I think that's what made it happen organically. And that from that, Mouse has been more than gracious, you know, sharing us on his platform, you know, connecting us with other people. So like, shout out to Mouse for sure.
Yeah. Big salute.
Big salute, you know? Yeah.
And what gave you all the inspiration to do this Dr. Umar interview in the first place?
Man, this is shooting the shit. Like, yo, what would be a dope interview? Yo, I have like a whole list of people that I want to interview that would be fire. And I just shoot my shot. Yo, one thing I do is I shoot.
One thing about this guy?
Yeah, I shoot.
Because even when I saw his pod for the first time, because I haven't been shooting it the entire time.
Yeah.
Like you said, they did it for the pandemic and then we met at a certain point. I looked on this guy's thing. I seen Matt Barnes.
It would lessen my percentage, but at the same time, it's going to grow the business. So again, you know, like the way I look at it is, you know, I'd rather have a small piece of something big where it's mine, but I've, you know, delegated out shares to people that are going to make the business better than to have a whole company that isn't worth shit, you know.
His face. And for me, I literally majority only listen to podcasts. And I've been like that since 2016. So when it comes to podcasts, I know.
Yeah.
So sports podcasts, who is one of the originators? Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
Yeah, all the smoke. Yeah.
So I've been watching that pod for years. So I looked on this guy's thing. I'm like, you guys got Matt Barnes? Like, he said yes. And he pulled up. I'm like, oh shit. And then we're doing an episode. And then this billionaire guy comes on, like Isaac Olowolafe. I'm like,
yeah,
this guy's a billionaire. He's sitting here right now. Like, I'm talking to him right now. Like, this is fire.
Yeah.
And then I went, like, just, it kept happening. Like, yo, this guy's the owner of this company. Wow. Like, you have the guts to talk to this guy. Yeah. You have the idea to actually reach out and be like, yo,
shoot your shot.
Can we talk? And then they're like, yeah. And you're like, oh shit. Like, most people, if they did that, they would be like, okay, like they'll be lost. Like, what do we do now? Yeah. These guys, it's an execution thing. So when he said he wanted to do Dr. Umar, I was like, okay. Like, the first time he said it, I was like, okay. And then he linked me one day, like, okay, bro, we're doing Dr. Umar. Like, we're flying out. We're doing it.
Sick.
I'm like, oh, okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, one thing about him, shooting a shot is definitely something that has worked for this guy. And anybody out there that is looking to do something, bro, shoot your shot.
Shoot
You
your
miss
shot.
every shot that you do not take.
Facts.
That's a big fact.
Mm.
And did you hit him up in the DMs?
What
Or did
I
you
do?
like go through like the email channels?
I went
and
through
all
his
this?
email. Went through his email. Yeah. That's what I did.
I'm gonna ask a kind of a pocket watchy type of question,
All right, talk to me.
and you don't have to give me an exact figure.
All right.
What's around the price that this man's charging per interview? Because I know Dr. Umar ain't doing no free interviews.
Yeah,
Man's a deal though. Bro.
yeah. He charges. I feel.
I don't
like
want you to
can't-
give his number up because
Yeah.
I don't want y'all to
Don't
mess
do
up
that.
your or his business. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
But ballpark.
Ballpark.
Are we talking 5 figures?
No, I'll say that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. It's not.
All right. I'm feeling confident I might be able to get that in.
He helps. He helps black people out for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think on top of the fact that he sees what y'all are doing,
Mhm.
he might that probably even encouraged him more to bring the price down.
Word.
It might be. The thing is that it might be
Yeah.
5. But like, you know,
Yeah.
I feel like the situation was right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He-
So I think he actually does charge 5. But I
Yeah.
feel like he gave us a discount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does do a 5-figure cost.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
like I said, he's seen what the man them are doing.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
on the
yeah.
come up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're from Toronto. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Hey,
Word.
That's
bring the
literally
price down.
That's
Word.
literally what it was.
Yeah, I think so. And He was
Yeah.
like, no, that's no bunny, right? You're not a bunny hopper, right? No? Not a bunny hopper. And I'm like, no.
Don't
not
worry,
Dr.
we
Umar.
didn't bring it up in the
You
pod.
know,
Oh man,
you're not a bunny hopper, right? And
He
I'm
would
like,
have
no.
been cheese.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna
So-
charge me the high then, bro.
You're a bunny hopper?
I'm sorry, Dr. Umar. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
don't overcharge me because I lay with the pink toes. You know what I'm saying?
Pink toes, 20,000.
I'm saying, you know, I'm sorry, bro.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
gosh.
Okay, I want to ask you guys, as guys who are out here, you're doing, even before I ask you guys about the Toronto music scene,
Yeah.
the evolution of the podcast itself.
Mhm.
Because, like I said in the beginning of this conversation, you guys were like, you're covering a more financial stuff,
Yeah.
right? But now we get to Dr. Umar, which this is like Black empowerment and all different types of conversations. Like, you guys had a conversation. The conversation that went viral was about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
It's about
and hip hop.
Hip hop and hip hop.
And-
Yeah. Hip hop in black community.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. That was it.
Yeah.
right?
Forget the white companies. I'm talking about black-owned companies that have come.
Who? How many?
Fubu, Carcanai.
I'm getting out of here.
What?
Fuck wearing Fubu and Carcanai.
You
Right? Are you guys still dealing with the financial space as much, or are we evolving into different things? Like me and Marlon were just here the other day, just
Yeah.
chopping up about whatever,
Yeah.
right?
I think the direction I want to go in is like business and culture, you
Mm.
know? Because that is a part of business and culture.
Yes.
You know, like what is the culture doing towards building up each other's business? That was like the core of the conversation. So I want to do more of those.
Mhm.
But hip hop is the driver.
Mm.
Because like, even to this day, I was looking at the comments and like, so people were talking about the top 5 street mans that we talked about in the episode.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, all right, boom. If that's what they want to get, I feel like there's like a good balance. Because I think the main challenge I was having with the podcast before that, because there was no culture behind it in terms of like, for example, the NBA culture is so huge that when Durant does a certain dunk or certain move, we're talking about that for a moment.
Yeah.
There isn't that much business culture in that sense where one move happens and we're all talking about that.
Yeah.
That
Say
rarely
it like
happens.
this, bro. Niggas are not watching that shit, bro. They're not tapping in. They don't, bro. It's very hard. I'm gonna say this because I'm on the other side of it. For
Mm.
them, like for him and his old business partner, they are very much on that side, the business. I'm on the culture side,
Yeah.
right? So I know what these guys are watching, and they're not watching the owner of this company talk for an hour about how much he owns this company and how great it's been in his journey.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of use something else to draw people into that conversation. So even the
Yeah.
conversation that he had earlier with Jasmine Lee, she's a realtor. But yo, that shit went into life. It went into just her
Love.
perspective, love. And you're talking to a beautiful woman about it. So it kind of gives more of an interest. And that's really what it is. Him bringing me into Dr. Umar podcast, because I wasn't in front of the camera. My plan was never to really be in front of the camera. What happened was the Drake beef happened. I'm an opinionated person. I went on the pod just to have a quick conversation. Went on vacation. My shit started blowing up. The shit went viral. So, you know, he had the idea, you know what? Let's start to implement some of this into the pod. I already shoot the pod. I'm going to hop on and give that opinion. So I think you need a mix of both to get people back into that space where they want to hear the financial talk. Yeah. Why not hear that from a Marlon, where Marlon's giving insight on what he's been doing in podcasts, and him as a known Toronto face for so long. I want to hear what he has to say about the industry and all that type of stuff. But I know that he's going to bring the culture with it too. Same thing with talking to you, combining you guys on an episode. I feel like that's just fire, because you're getting two legendary perspectives about the city in different spaces, but in the same space at the same time.
No, we had some great combos. Even the one of the clips that went pretty viral. I'm getting comments right now on it. Is Drake being from a neighborhood, not an underprivileged neighborhood, but still being underprivileged.
Rich enough to be the poorest nigga on the block. His parents were just rich enough to get him out of the hood, but not rich enough to be like affluent.
They're just the poorest guy
They're
on
just
a better
the
block.
poorest guy on a better block.
Yo, people were offended at that.
Wanted Drake to be rich so bad.
Yeah, they wanted to be rich and white and Jewish so badly.
So bad.
But that's the thing with Toronto. That's the thing that I love about the city so much. Only we understand. The whole world is talking about Toronto right now. Because of Drake, because of other people, and they just don't really get it. Only we get it. And we will only get it. So having the opportunity to talk to Americans about our culture, that's how the conversation started with Dr. Umar. I brought up, hey, this is what Americans are currently saying about Black Canadians right now. What do you think? And then that just went into Mouse giving his opinion and this and that. And then we got the viral ass clip of them just going crazy at each other. You know what I mean? And so that's where you understand, like, okay, we can talk about the financial, we can talk about the business side of things, but people want to hear culture. So why not give that to them? But also give them the financial basis, give them that, all that type of stuff. There's what 200 episodes that they can go look at. Hustle Over Everything podcast, bro. Anything you want to know in business, it's like an encyclopedia. You have hours on hours of people who have done it, talking, telling you what to do. You can't say the information is not there. You know what I mean?
Go if you go find the information if you're looking for it. You know what I'm saying?
It's there.
We love hip hop.